Throughout time, people across the world told each other tales of how they came to be, of heroes and monsters, romance and tragedy, death and rebirth. Mythology helped shape the ancient world, explaining the unexplainable. This is Mythology Unleashed. Omens of misfortune, found throughout folklore and superstition, can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, some subtle and innocuous to the untrained eye, while others are grand and otherworldly, so much so that they are difficult or even impossible to miss. It may be the color of the sunrise or the sunset, the shattering of a mirror, or an eerie cry out in the night. But arguably, few omens of misfortune and calamity are as spectacular or as chilling as the Wild Hunt. Hailing from northern and central Europe, and referred to by a host of regional names, the Wild Hunt was a vast gathering of spectral figures on horseback, some say numbering in the dozens, or even up to the thousands, galloping hard across the moors, through the forests, and even through the clouds in the sky, accompanied by baying hounds as they pursue their quarry. The identities of the hunters vary from story to story, depending upon the region telling, and partly out of fear of taking too close of a look at such an eerie omen. They may be the Valkyries or the Einherjar from Norse mythology, the Fey folk and denizens of the Otherworld from Celtic mythology, or they may be the spirits of the dead. The dogs may be black as pitch, or whiter than snow with red ears, like the hounds of Annwn, and the horses may have fiery eyes or multiple legs, not unlike Odin's steed Sleipnir. More outrageous stories of the hunt go as far as to include demons, werewolves, and even dragons among their ranks. Additionally, the identity of the Wild Hunt's leader varies greatly, though is often a figure of great strength and martial prowess in mythology. In Scandinavia, the hunt is often led by Odin, the one-eyed king of Asgard, whereas his Germanic iteration, Woden, leads the charge in respective territories. One German tale says that the hunt is led by the ghost of Count Hackelberg, or Count Ebbenberg, whose crimes during life condemned him to an afterlife eternally hunting in the netherworld. In the British Isles, the hunt may be led by Gwyn ap Nudd, a king of Annwn, the otherworld of Welsh mythology, or by Erne the Hunter, the ghost of Berkshire County, or even by King Arthur under a curse. Other supposed leaders of the hunt have included the Norse hero Sigurd, the Welsh hero Gwydion, Nuada of the Tuatha De Danann, the Germanic figure King Erla, the biblical figure Cain, or even the Christian devil. The purpose of the Wild Hunt may also vary from tale to tale. For divine justice, for glory, to act as a warning, to declare a grand change, or just simply to exist. Yet many say that their quarry is the souls of the damned, or evil beings, sniffing them out with their hounds, and running them down with their horses. The Wild Hunt is more often heard rather than seen, the hooves of the phantom horses sounding as rolling thunder, the baying of the spectral hounds akin to the sound of the wind. Mortal dogs may howl to the sky as the horde gallops by, and sudden chills may creep up the spine as the hunters pass overhead. To hear or to feel the Wild Hunt's arrival in passing, and especially to catch a glimpse of it, is said to be among the worst omens of misfortune. It could mean plague, famine, drought, conflict, war, or even the death of the one who glimpsed the wild hunt, or someone very close to them. What's more, mortals who were unlucky enough to see the procession of ghostly hunters were at risk of being swept away and carried off by the wild hunt. Some say to the other world, some to the afterlife, while others say that those who fall prey to the hunters will be doomed to become one of them for all eternity. Tales exist of individuals having the courage, or lack of common sense, to stand up to the ghostly charge. Sometimes the individual is taken without a fight, or outright killed on the spot, or even driven mad for the rest of his days. Whereas other stories have the hunters reward him for his bravery with a sack of gold, or curse him in a way that may only be absolved by a priest or a wise one. No matter the iteration, one way or another, the hunters never leave without a prize, one that comes at the expense of the living. A chilling legend indeed, but one begins to wonder where the motif of the wild hunt originated, and just how it managed to spread across Northern Europe. To properly pin down the exact origins of the wild hunt is next to impossible, as it has been spread widely across Europe and the British Isles, and changes notably in order to accommodate the region and time frame. The wild hunt as we know it, and even the phrase wild hunt, was first documented by folklorist Jacob Grimm, famous for compiling Grimm's fairy tales with his brother. Grimm's highly criticized take on the wild hunt claimed that the motif originated as a pagan concept, a procession of the gods that brings welfare and blessing, accepting gifts and offerings of the people as they march on. But with the rise of Christianity, the mythical event would take a dark turn, transforming what would be a solemn march of otherwise benevolent figures into a savage and ruthless hunt for human souls by a pack of horrid specters, dashed with dark and devilish ingredients. While Grimm's theory of a Christianized take on an old legend may have some credibility, it does not explain how so many European cultures have a similar tale, albeit with differing details. A myth about supernatural hunters swarming the sky and riding through the forests could be widespread as an oral tale, or a highly fantasized account of an actual historical event. Or even, as is the case with most folklore, an attempt by early cultures to explain natural phenomena and any consequences that resulted from these occurrences. In the case of the wild hunt, the most reasonable natural occurrence could be a thunderstorm, or a blizzard in the wintertime. Thick, dark clouds rolling over the horizon, lightning flashes while thunder echoes as nature prepares to devastate the unsuspecting. Or the formless, swirling figures of supernatural hunters engaging in a chaotic chase as they pursue their quarry on the backs of charging horses. A story such as this could easily be told and even believed in ancient times, and people could easily fill in the gaps of who the riders were and their purpose with figures of legend from their respective homelands. Uncovering the true origins of the wild hunt motif is a wild hunt in and of itself. But no matter where it came from or what inspired it, the wild hunt has left a lasting impact on the imagination, namely of those intrigued by superstitions, ghost stories, and paranormal events. While catastrophic omens of legend and superstition are grand in number, few are as grand in spectacle as the wild hunt. The concept of a ghostly or supernatural horde riding through the skies, frantically searching for their quarry, is equal parts thrilling and chilling, and has frequently been featured and inspired various elements throughout stories of high fantasy and dark fiction, from Tolkien to The Witcher to Mike Mignola's Hellboy. With its mysterious origins, its otherworldly riders and beasts of the hunt, and its ever-changing and gradually darkening aspects, the Wild Hunt will forever be among the grandest and most cryptic ghostly legends.